Hi, I'm Asante, Riverwind, and welcome to New Zone Gallery. I'm one of the 3 featured artists this month, and I've got a mix of both old and new. There's a sculpture going all the way back to 1981 out of marble, and it's cast that was more recent, probably 20 years later than that, and as well as a couple of paintings here that just came off the easel last week. So it's quite a mix. I've been doing art pretty much my whole life. My mother was an artist and started my siblings and I when we were still, probably even before I was walking. And so we, all the way through, we're creating different things. And I spent about 10 years in universities and an art institute studying as well. And then since about 1981, when I finished all of that decade of schooling, just been continuing to create and doing shows all around the country in different places. My art comes from a lot of dreams and visions as well as nature. Oftentimes I'll wake from a dream that's really compelling with an image in my mind. Sometimes I'll wake up at 3 in the morning and go into the studio and rough it out so it's there so I don't lose it. And there's a piece in here that is exactly that, actually, called Cosmic Communion. And this piece as well, right in front here, is called Terror in the Fabric of Time. And it was a dream I had about the karmic clash of cultures across the world and how that just kind of really ripped open all of everybody's realities when Europe and this hemisphere collided in the invasion from Europe. And so different paintings have different social significance like that. Whatever the dreams kind of push or whatever I've been thinking about over time. I also have a couple pieces here on climate change that deal with the huge changes facing the generations to come. One called Inheritance with a bunch of the climate change activists in it. And others just reminding us that it's all magic. We're all magic. I think a lot of the art, to me, comes from a very deep spiritual place and has messages that, like, I don't have a preconceived thing when I start painting. I may have a dream or an image or a path that I'm going, but it's a journey. And each brushstroke builds upon the others. And I tend to work on all over the entire painting at once and just bring it up to fore. Kind of birthing it into reality. And then I get to look at it for a while and figure out what it means myself. And the one thing I really love about art is it means different things to all different kinds of people. It's like really an opening into ourselves, into our own psyche. What do we see in that piece? Or what draws each one piece and maybe not another? So those are all kind of part of the mysteries of life, of consciousness, and I find that fascinating, how art can communicate in ways that words cannot. And I'm also a musician. I often think they're very similar, whether you're painting or carving stone with music, you are painting with sound and carving with sound and space. It's very similar. So I had a little fun then setting up this show. When I found out that I was going to wrap around with this fire door in there saying emergency exit, stop, and do not lean on door. I thought, those signs are kind of garish or, just don't really go with the flow of art. But one of the things that happened to me years ago, in '96, my land was burned down in a forest fire. And I lost all my artwork that I hadn't sold or given away, about 2,000 paintings and stone sculptures, and one of the stone sculptures here actually survived that fire. So what I did for this, in honor of the art that vanished, is I took a lot of my paintings that have something to do with fire and put it on the fire door to decorate it and bring that door in here, and also to remind us we're all transient. I learned a lot in that process of having created all these pieces, and I used to think it was the reverse of dying. Artists think that when we leave all our art behind and we're gone. And suddenly I'm in my 40s, mid-40s, and all my art's gone and I'm here. And I was like, but it's supposed to be the other way around? Or, But anyway, you also learn that we're incredibly resilient. We're our own phoenix. We can rise from whatever ashes that come. And with art, it's like an artesian fountain inside of ourselves. You can keep creating. And so that's what I've been doing. And another thing I wanted to say briefly too, the pandemic comes into this as well. When it first broke out, it was during the Mardi Gras down in New Orleans. And I thought it was kind of interesting, this global pandemic emerging at the time of Carnival. And so one of the paintings that addressed that, and little portraits of the virus floating around, and then a painting, because so many people have been lost, that I call Hope and Remembrance, in honor of all those who have passed. And again, reminding us we are all connected, all nature, all across this beautiful earth. A lot of my art has been inspired by nature, by wild, beautiful places that are untrammeled, different wildlife that I've met and encountered. Some of the ones here, we've got western tanager, mountain bluebird, a bobcat, the oceans, the mists in the mountains, humpback whale, which actually also has a song that goes with it. A lot of the paintings have poetry, some of them are in books that I've published, and other ones are in songs that we perform, like the humpback whale one, which has an improv with my wife playing cello and myself playing electric sitar and a whole bunch of other instruments woven into it, where we're mimicking the sounds of humpback whales. And really love how nature, again, we're all magic. It just reminds us of that, the incredible diversity of life on this planet, and also how we're all connected and the fragility of it. In addition to art, I've used my art over the years to help found 4 different nonprofits that have worked on protecting ecosystems and wildlife. And I co-directed some of them for some years as well. But I always like to get back to the art and find other people to take those nonprofits and keep them going. And they're still going. And but I can get back to my painting and art. And when needed, found another one. But I hope at this age I'm more retired from all of that. A lot of hours people spend in protecting nature. And where I find the art can help voice our awareness of what different issues are and how we can all help. And we're at New Zone Gallery. We're a co-op, artist co-op, about 65 members, and sculptors, painters, all kinds of artists, fabric artists as well. And we're on East 11th in the old St. Vincent de Paul thrift store place. And we've been here about 2 months now, completely changed the place. It's a beautiful gallery space, and really invite people to come take a look and see the wealth of art we have here. It's phenomenal.